Alright guys, today we're here to do another video on my Star Wars Arcade1Up arcade machine. Of course, as you guys are looking at here with the buttons, this is fully modded out, as we talked about in our previous video, when I gave you a glimpse of, where I was in the beginning of this a few months ago. But now it's basically at its final stage. I got all the games working on it. I got the speaker mounted here, all the lights lighting up here, and a bunch of different games on here, from pinball games, from racing games, from flying games. All different types of games that actually work extremely well on the yoke. You wouldn't believe how well some of these games actually play on the yoke. Even though this was made for the flight games like Star Wars Battlepod and the other Star Wars games that I'll be showing you a little bit of too. A lot of these games on here for the racing games, like all the ones that you're familiar with, also play extremely well on the yoke and are a lot of fun to be had. So today what I want to do is I want to get into a video here and show you guys a little bit of some of the new games that I added on here, especially my favorite games on for arcade racing games, actually comes from Teknoparrot. If you guys are familiar with that, it's basically an emulator that basically we have a great group of guys out there who are in a team out there who basically get these games to work on this emulator, and it's games from the arcade that we're all familiar with playing, that we see in the arcades, and after some time has passed, they're able to put it over, and we can actually play it in our home. So shout out to all the guys who work on Teknoparrot. Fantastic. And there's a bunch of games I want to show you guys, some new games that came out in the last couple of months after I did my original video, and just all around fun games that you guys can do if you guys mod your Star Wars Arcade1Up. So let's go ahead and get into the video.
Gaming tech, eating brekkie is the gaming tech, going for a brekkie is the gaming tech, gaming techie is the gaming tech, gaming techie.
Alright guys, so as you can see, we're at the main menu here. And there's a lot of different categories. We're not going to go through all of them because I did that on my previous video. But you can see I had pinball games on here that work surprisingly well. Pinball FX2. Of course, then we got the racing category here, which is the main event on here. Or one of the main events, I should say. Shoot 'em ups actually work really, really well on here. More surprisingly than I thought they would. And the reason I actually got this cabinet here is, of course, the Star Wars one that I actually have on there. Star Wars and flying games are my main two games that I got this cabinet modded for, mostly for Star Wars games, so we'll be playing a couple of those as well. But for today, let's go ahead and dive into racing. I want to show you guys some of the cool games that have come out and that I've played on Teknoparrot that are awesome on this system. So right here, we're right at the S's here. We might as well dive right into this. We have Sega Race TV, and we have Sega Racing Classic. So let's go ahead and dive into Sega Race TV. I'll show you guys 30 seconds or so of gameplay of each game so you guys can get an idea of what all these games are like. Here we are at the main menu. So we can go ahead and select the car here. We can select the character. And then of course there are some levels to try out here. We'll go ahead and leave it right there. And you can see we're off to the races here. So this is Sega Race TV. This is a fantastic Sega game. A lot of fun. And also drives really well with the yoke, as you guys are seeing here. Get a little boost going on there. Really, really fun arcade racer here. And just so you guys know, all the Teknoparrot games on here, in order for you to be able to run them really well, especially Battlepod, if you want to be able to play Star Wars Battlepod, which we'll show off here at the end of the video, on a system like this, you're going to need a 1660 graphics card, because if you just use a 1030, like some other people say, you can do it, and you can play most of the Teknoparrot games and all the arcade games on here, but Star Wars Battlepod is going to run at like 25 to 30 FPS, so if you're looking for more like closer to 60, for Battlepod, which is a standout game that a lot of people mod this thing for, you're going to want that 1660. Which is what I have running on here. But yeah, that's a little bit of Sega Racing TV as I hit into the wall. Another one of my favorites here is Sega Rally 3, also a Teknoparrot game, so let's go ahead and check that one out. Here we are at the main menu. We're just going to go ahead and select our car here. We'll leave it there. Here we are at the game start. This game's graphics look fantastic. Most of the Teknoparrot games all look fantastic. And here we are doing Sega Rally Racing. And like I said, the graphics on here are a lot of fun. This is one of my favorite arcade racers. A lot of fun. A game that I didn't actually play in the arcades back in the day or even anytime recently. This is one of the ones that I actually found, you know, afterwards. But this one's a lot of fun. And I'll keep crashing into the wall. But this one, another one, all these games play great on the yoke. So there's no reason for me to keep telling you how great these games play on the yoke. They play great, all these racing games. My skills, on the other hand, may not be up to par with how good the game is, but the game is fun nonetheless. So, that gives you guys a little bit of an impression on playing Sega Rally on here and how it actually looks. Fantastic game on Teknoparrot, and this game's a lot of fun. Alright guys, so here is Sonic and Sega's All-Stars Racing, a game that we're probably all familiar with. But this is the arcade version, so it's not the console version that we're all used to seeing. This is the actual arcade racer. All different characters are here. Of course, all these different courses are here to select. So you can see all those there. Let's go ahead and just do Whale Lagoon. And here we go. Another game that looks really, really good on here.
3, 2, 1, go!
And here we have, I wanted to take a shortcut around them and end up getting hit by all of them, so that's a great start. Of course, we can do some sliding around the corners to gain our boost. And then, of course, we can use our items. Get a little bit of speed boost there. There we go. Blast him out of the way. I love this game on console, and it's great to be able to play it, the arcade version at home, and being able to play it on a yoke and all that kind of stuff. Just like the arcades when we see this game out on the arcades. This game is great, runs great. Kind of what you guys probably expect if you guys have played this on console. Just now, the arcade version. Another fun one on here is Snowcross. It's a lot of fun. A game that a lot of people don't talk about. Winter X Snowcross, another Teknoparrot game. Obviously, it's a snowboarding game, or not a snowboarding game, a sledding game. It's really cool. So let's go ahead and check that one. So here we are at the main menu. We can go ahead and select our track here on whichever one we want. We'll do Antarctica here. You can then go ahead and choose your sled. I'll just choose that one. You can pick something to customize. I will do handling. And here we are. So you can see you do a bunch of crazy tricks as you're hopping up. And then when you press the right, you actually can do speed boost. And then what you can also do is you can actually throw snowballs at the people around you, as you guys are seeing there. And eventually, if you throw enough snow at them, which I'm trying to do, see the guy in front, just knocked him down. My guy's doing some crazy flips. So yeah, you're basically throwing snowballs at each other, trying to knock each other out of the way, trying to gain some speed boost, as you guys are seeing here, to, of course, be the first person to finish. But it's a lot of fun. Graphics also fantastic on here. A really, really fun game. Never played this one in the arcades, though. Never seen this one before. But it was fun when I got it on here. And the tracks are all well designed. They have a lot going on, as you guys are looking at here. You're smacking through boats. You're smacking through tunnels, through ice, through water. A lot of different variety as far as the track layouts in this one. Another one on here that's fantastic is the Batman game. This one's a lot of fun. I have played this one in the arcade before. When I went to an arcade, I think it was Dave & Buster's where I saw it. And this game is also fantastic, especially for Batman fans and DC fans. Alright, so here we are. And Batman, you basically can choose any of these missions here. There's 3 easy and 3 hard from each side. So we're going to go ahead and choose the Joker on easy. And this is cool. You can actually select different Batmobiles. So I'm going to choose that one there.
Say,
There's the Joker.
I'm hosting a little soiree this evening, and I'd just love for you to be there. I promise it'll be a blast.
Cool little intro to the mission. And each one of these has a certain mission that you're trying to go to.
Nuclear equipment into the city. I will allow that, Commissioner.
So part 1 is you have to stop them. So as you can see here, got the Batmobile. And the objective is to take them all down. So you go ahead and you shoot. You press this button here on the top to shoot. They have to be in your line of sight, of course, as we're taking them all down. And then you got to go around the city, find the rest of them. There's another. We're destroying them currently. There we go. 3 of 3. So we got mission complete. You got a time bonus. You got a rating score. We of course got 5 stars there. And then the next mission comes up until you fight the boss, which is Joker himself.
I'm afraid not, Scarecrow.
So this game is fantastic. It has a lot of fanfare for Batman fans. You know, a lot of things to be able to do. Here's one of the newer games that came out a couple of months ago. This is Cars, Disney's Cars, the Pixar version. We can go ahead and get here to the main menu. We can go ahead and select all these different courses here. So let's go ahead and select our Radiator Sprint. And of course we can select our characters here. I am going to be Lightning McQueen, of course. A lot of personality with this game. You know, they actually have the voices in the game, and the cars all talk while you're racing and stuff. You know, some effort was put into this. Because one of the ones we're going to look at later down the line is the complete opposite of that. But this one was good. So you can see here, as you're driving, you got the cool music. And driving Lightning McQueen here, and you can also, for boost, you can drive backwards there, and that's how you gain your speed boost. You can jump, and then it says to hit my speed boost button there, which I just did. There's shortcuts everywhere to take. You can hop over people. Do a little bit of driving backwards. You got a full speed boost there. So that was a nice speed boost. You can see there we got 2nd place. Lots a little bit of cars. This one's fun. A lot of personality with the characters, as I said. So here you are with some Crazy Taxi. We're all familiar with this game. This game is fun, though it doesn't run perfect. This is one of the only games that has a little bit of skipping sometimes in the soundtrack in the background for whatever reason. But it's still a lot of fun to play. It doesn't take away from the driving and the fun experience. But sometimes you can hear the music skip in the background. I don't know what I'm doing right now. But it's running pretty well right now. Sometimes it skips, sometimes it doesn't. But like I said, it doesn't take away from the experience regardless. Crazy Taxi is a classic. We all know. And, oh boy. This one's a lot of fun as well. And of course, who can forget about Daytona? This is Daytona Championship. This is basically Daytona 3. This one's really fun. Alright, so here we are with some Daytona 3 here. You can go ahead and select Championship or just single course. We'll just do the first one there. Who can't forget this classic song? This is definitely in my top 5 arcade racers. The track or the music are so catchy, and it's just fun gameplay. Trying to get past him, but he didn't let me. But yeah, you guys get the idea. This game's a lot of fun. Catchy soundtrack. One of the great arcade races. Now this is one of my personal favorites on Teknoparrot, Dirty Driving. This game is just a blast to play. It reminds me a little bit of like MotorStorm combined with like Twisted Metal kind of thing. Alright, so here we are at the main menu here. Choose a track. We'll just go ahead and skip all that for now. But you could basically buy upgrades on your car. The more you play, the more you can unlock. Alright, so here we are. So when he tells you to yank the crank, that's basically telling you to pull the lever down. That used to be on the arcades. In this game, of course, we just hit a button. And that basically means that you're shooting a fire, shooting your items that you're picking up here. Like I'm using turrets right now to basically aim at whoever's in front of me, or those missiles that I just used. So that's what yank the crank means in this game. And then you also gain upgrades as you're driving. Like I just got mega wheels, like basically power-ups as you're driving. A la Mario Kart kind of thing. You can roll on people, you can smash them. Like I said, it's a mixture of so many different games. Like there's some Mario Kart in here with the items, with crazy items like making your wheels huge and stuff like you're seeing here. You can even make yourself small. You can get things on the side to just ram people over. To regular items like that I just hit him with a thing. You can even just smash people on the side like he was trying to do to me. A lot of fun to be had with this game here. And not only is it fun to play, but the graphics are some of the best on Teknoparrot and in this game. And it runs perfectly smooth, as you're seeing. This is Nickelodeon Racing, and unfortunately this game had a lot of potential because of course it's Nickelodeon characters and I love Nickelodeon, but compared to some of the other games that you guys have seen up till now, with this game they kind of just took the cheap route. Kind of the same way they did with the console version of this game, where they still don't understand that like to give this game life and to give this game what people want, not only do we need the creative tracks from SpongeBob World and all that other stuff, but we also need the voice acting in the game. We need the characters to talk, or else the game, as you guys are going to see, is just going to be silent. Like, there's not like characters talking like Mario Kart and all these other games, that these characters are just sitting there silent, and you'll see that here now. So you can go ahead and pick your character, like I'll select SpongeBob. Then you can go ahead and select the world, so they do have a SpongeBob world here, Bikini Bottom. But they have this announcer guide, but they don't have any of the characters talking with any of their original voices, or even if it wasn't their original voices, at least some kind of voice. But like, you hear the music in the background, that's all you get, is that character basically sometimes comes around and does that. So much potential with this game. The game's still fun. I mean, it's still a fun game. You're still, using SpongeBob and basically in Bikini Bottom, so it's still fun to play. It just could have been so much better, and so much more people would have gotten into this game if it actually had, voice acting, like some of the other games do that I showed you. But game's still fun. Just could have been more. And then, of course, we can't forget about the original classic Outrun 2. Outrun 2 is probably my right next to Mario Kart. Is probably my favorite arcade racer of all time. Those two go back and forth. I played Mario Kart in the arcades a lot. which I'll show you guys after this game. And Outrun was the other big one that I played in the arcades, hence why I have, you know, an Arcade1Up Outrun machine as well. But this is the Outrun 2 Teknoparrot version, so this is the newer Teknoparrot, you know, the new ones in the arcades, not the ones that on the Arcade1Up, so the old school arcade games, which are still great, but this is just the new updated version that you see in the arcades, or used to see in them. So here we are at the main menu. You can go ahead and select their car. Automatic. Outrun mode, of course. Splash wave, good for me. Another game that looks beautiful on here. I don't know if the video is doing it justice, but this game looks fantastic. The music sounds great, especially with the sound bar out top, which is exactly why I got the sound bar for this system, because I knew there was going to be a lot of great racers on here and music that I wanted to hear louder than what the original speakers can do. So for this mod, I didn't use the stock speakers like I did on some of the other mods I've done on these Arcade1Ups. Little graphical glitches like that sun glare, it has some issues with. Okay, again, this is an emulator, things aren't perfect, but it's perfect enough. That's literally the only thing wrong with this one, is basically sometimes that sun glare is obviously not supposed to look like that, but perfectly playable. But yeah, this game's fantastic, guys. I think you guys know what Outrun is like. This new version is freaking awesome in the arcades. They did a great job with this one. And the last one I want to show you guys here is, of course, Mario Kart GP. This is the original Japanese Mario Kart game running on Teknoparrot. Here we go. You can go ahead and select 150cc. Select our character. We can go ahead and select from all these different tracks and race cups. Let's go ahead and select that Yoshi Park one.
This broadcast is brought to you by Justin Vanity.
Actually, as a matter of fact, this is not the Japanese version. I forgot. This is the English translation one. As you guys are hearing, it's not in Japanese, which I totally forgot. But either way, fantastic Mario Kart game. And even though we had Mario Kart and the Switch and stuff, as you guys are seeing, the tracks on here are completely different. So, forgot how you actually use items on here. That I'm trying to remember. There we go.
Mario is dominating the top spot.
So the announcer obviously comes by as you're playing these arcade racing games. If you guys have never played this in the arcade, and he just talks a lot. Basically double trap the trigger there to throw an item. So yeah, this game's a lot of fun. A lot of different tracks that we have not played in any of the other Mario Kart games, which is what makes this game fun. Like, this track has never appeared in any Mario Kart I've ever played, so really cool to be able to play this one at home now. One of my favorites. And of course, the main reason that I modded this machine is not for all these arcade racing games that we just saw, believe it or not. It's actually for the Star Wars games, because that is what this machine is. It is, of course, Star Wars, and that's exactly what I wanted. All these arcade racing games that you guys just saw, I'm actually working on an Outrun mod once I get my last pieces here, and we'll be able to do Outrun and mod that one, and all these racing games will basically go on there, and this will just be mostly flying games with a yoke and Star Wars games, and then the other one would be all the racers that you just saw. But either way, you know, we've got Star Wars Trilogy, of course, all the Star Wars games. We got the Dreamcast Racer and the Star Wars Arcade Racer, all these great games, and of course the original ones that this thing actually came with. All the Star Wars games are on here, but the one I'm going to concentrate on showing you on it, because it's Teknoparrot, and that's what this game, that's the video that we're talking about, is of course Star Wars Battlepod. The main reason that people actually mod this machine is specifically for this game. And like I said, if you want this game to run at 60 FPS, you're going to have to use a 1660 graphics card, which is what I have on here. If not, it's going to be like 25 to 30 frames, and I know some of you guys are not going to want that. So, yeah, take that into accordance that this game definitely demands the most power out of any Teknoparrot game to date, as far as I know. As you guys are seeing here, it starts there on the main menu. You get to the free play screen. We're going to go ahead and skip that so I don't get copyright strike for Star Wars music. Even though it probably is going to happen anyway. Actually, I might actually just lower the volume on this one. So, there's a bunch of different ones that you can select here from medium, hard. You know, you got a Vader level. This is the big Star Wars Battlepod that you guys have probably seen back in the day in Dave & Buster's. Maybe some of them still have it. But yeah, this game is fantastic, and like I said, this is the main reason why people get this. Unfortunately, I can't show you this with sounds because then Disney's going to go crazy on my video, but you guys will get the gist of what this game is like, and the graphics, again, are fantastic on here. And as you guys can see here in the gameplay, like I said, there's different levels that you're doing. This one, I believe, we're trying to, if I remember what I selected, the battle, you're trying to kill the Death Star, I think is what's going on. Yeah, so here we are. So we're making runs. So basically, you're taking this, and you're trying to move it and aim at all the ships coming at you. Trying to shoot them down. The game definitely loses a lot when you don't hear any sounds, which obviously for a Star Wars game, you want that sound, but at least you guys will get the idea of how great this game looks and how much fun this game is with the yoke, even without the sound. There's a lot of good variety with the different missions, a lot of cool stuff that you're doing, you know, from Star Wars lore, like right now trying to, you know, damage the ship here. Kind of missed that. And then we gotta kill that. Alright, we got that. Those little mini games and stuff that pop up, or not mini games, but things that you're sometimes it will have to tell you to shoot. So it's telling you here to destroy the exhaust port and stuff like that. So you're going through, and now you're trying to kill the exhaust port. So again, a lot of variety in the missions, a lot of different things that you're doing. Darth Vader is now in front of us, as you guys are seeing, and we're trying to damage him a little bit. And I believe we just crashed, didn't we? Looked like we crashed. Yep, we threw that fire in there, and we succeeded in that mission to blow the planet up, to blow the Death Star up. There you go. Mission success, as you guys are seeing there. And we'll see what our total score was. So you got a total score for your mission success, how many points, and of course, the higher the score, the better. I only got 1 star, so that shows you how well I did. But yeah, that's a quick overview, not exactly quick, but that's an overview of all the Teknoparrot games that I'm having a lot of fun with. There's a few more I didn't show you. There's, you know, other ones, you know, just didn't want to make the video 2 hours long, but those are my highlights that I've got on here, some of the new ones and some of the old ones that I play on this machine. So let's go ahead and wrap up the video. Alright guys, so that was my video on the Arcade1Up Star Wars yoke that I have modded here. I hope you guys enjoyed a little bit of gameplay from all the different games that I have on here to give you guys an idea on what you guys can do if you guys mod your Star Wars Arcade1Up, but more importantly, what Teknoparrot is all about, because I love Teknoparrot, you know, for racing games in general, and I just showed you a bunch of good ones, and there's plenty more on there. It sometimes is a pain in the ass to get to work. It took me a while and a lot of things to figure out, but it was a fun time once I got in there, and now I have all the Teknoparrot games working that I want to have working on this cab. And there's a lot more to say about this, about what's coming soon, guys. For those of you guys who like watching my videos, make sure to hit that subscribe button and like this videos and put on those alerts so you guys don't miss any of my videos coming up, because now that this one is fully modded out, we have a couple of cabinets coming into the house that I'm really, really excited about, that I'll tell you about now. So first of all, we're going to be modding our Arcade1Up Outrun cab next. So all the racing games that are basically on here are also going to be on the Outrun cab with the actual wheel. So I'm waiting for a couple more cables to come into stock, and I'll be able to mod that one out and basically put the same similar type of games on there as well as I have on here. And basically this one will be my Star Wars flight like yoke kind of games, and then the Outrun one will be my main racing cab basically for all the racing games. So that will be a fun project, so stay tuned for that on how that journey goes. And then we actually have 2 cabinets that we got from Game Room Solutions. And there's going to be a lot to be had with those videos, because for those of you guys who have been keeping track on my channel, I have the virtual pinball cabinet from Game Room Solutions that I did not like. That's almost 2 years old at this point. I think it's a year and a half. And it was the model right before the one that they have now. And I've been told by a lot of people recently that this version basically fixes all the issues that I had with the original and all that kind of stuff. So I was always eager to try it, but I didn't want to, you know, shell out another $500 after I had just bought version 1, where I wasn't happy with it. I wasn't happy with a lot of things from that video, but apparently a lot of those things have been fixed. So that cabinet is coming in, and we're going to be redoing the virtual pinball cabinet, but we're going to be doing it crazy this time. We're going to be doing it with solenoids, because I never had solenoids on mine. We're going to be adding a bass shaker to the 27-inch one, so that's going to be great. We're going to have a DMD screen on there, which we didn't have before. We're going to have an arcade stick on the top there, so a lot of good stuff happening with that one. So stay tuned for that video. And then something that I've been really wanting to add to the actual arcade room is an actual dedicated gun cabinet. So again, sticking with Game Room Solutions, they have a gun cabinet, 24-inch screen or 22-inch screen that you could put in there, and it's going to be my dedicated gun cabinet. So all my gun games and all my light gun games are going to be on there, and I'm upgrading my guns to Gun 4 IR. And if you guys don't know what that is, make sure you subscribe and stay tuned to my video, because those guns are going to be freaking awesome from everything I hear, and you guys are going to want to stay tuned for that. So other than that, guys, that's enough rambling from me. If you guys have any questions about what you guys saw in today's video, as always, leave it down below. If not, thank you guys for watching. Until next time.